Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Your host Frank Holder here with you. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to get some of the comedians in here. Mo, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Frank, what's going on, baby? We you back home or you still on the West Coast?
I'm still on the West Coast, bro. Doing what I do, doing my thug dizzle, doing my thing. My
All right,
man Jason Hayes.
don't forget us back here.
Yeah, my man
What
Jay
up,
Hayes in the
Frank?
building. How
What
you
up,
doing,
Mo?
Jason? How's
Talk it
everything,
like
guys?
you text it. Talk it like you text it.
Oh man, the thing is, I'm exhausted too, bro. Like I can't wait to get home. I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait to get home. I am exhausted.
Yeah,
These late nights, early mornings, boy. After when you get in your 50s, man, they catch up to you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They catch up to you. So as we wait for, let me see if my man Howie's coming in. As we wait for see some of the guys are coming in. You guys want me to start first, man? You want me to do the first thing?
Let's go.
All right. All right. Okay. So the other day, the last time we were on, first thing we talked about was the most disappointing women athletes. That's where we left off, and it was a little while ago now. So I'm gonna start off with first and say my most disappointing athlete has to be to start. In no particular order. I want to say the first one for me is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Hold on, let me make sure I put this the right way. Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin started out slow and then she ended up coming into her thing. Not that she had a disappointment, because she's not in any way. I just think that she started out. Oh, my man Kev is in the building. Kev, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's happening, fellas? How we doing?
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I just want to throw it out there and say Caitlin is my first one to say, my disappointed athlete, female athletes, again, in no particular order. And I only got out three. Cameron Brink has got to be my other disappointing athlete, because she too many antics and things like that, too much stuff behind the scenes, a lot of extracurricular activity, just too much drawing attention, things like that. And the number one thing is the person who I have issues with a lot, even though I really like her a lot, and I think she get a lot of sponsorship dollars and everything else. If she gets a publicist to help her fix her stuff up, fix the way she acts, everything else, it's got to be Angel Reese. I think Angel Reese is the epitome of what these young black girls are looking for, when they look up to these black superstar athletes. I think that's a big deal. I think she's missing out on some change. I think she needs to be a little bit cleaned up and brushed up. But I think if she gets all that together, I think she's good to go. So those are my three disappointing female athletes. I don't know if we were supposed to get five, but I got three. It's been so long. I got three is what it is.
Three.
All right, Mo, give me yours.
And I really couldn't find a lot of female athletes that were disappointing to me. Like the low fat hanging fruit, like we always say, Tanya Harding. You know what I'm saying? What she did, to do something like that to someone. But I did have one that I wanted to speak about. It's not an athlete, but it's a woman that's in sports. It's the Russian gymnast coach, Valencia Rodemenko.
Okay.
She's the coach who says that there's no grace within the Women Olympics. Why's her name slipping me right now? And I had it written down too.
And you're looking right at it too.
Huh?
And you're looking
No,
at it
I
too.
didn't write her name down.
Okay.
I do have it written down. She said Simone Biles won because of only difficulty. There was no grace or manner in what she did. But isn't the sport supposed to be doing difficult feats, like difficult jumps and whatever it is that they say within gymnastics? Like, how can she say that all the handsome women that came out of Russia and participated in the Olympics in the past? You know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna say there was no grace or nothing. Them manly looking broads that came from back in the 70s. We didn't. I'm saying Russia had a big gender reveal party recently because we didn't know what gender they was in the Olympics decades ago. Come on, man. How's she gonna say that? For real. She's the one disappointed woman in sports. I'll take Caitlin Clark because she's not the all-time scorer at NCAA. Because the all-time scorer in NCAA didn't shoot three-pointers. He only shot twos. And if you go by the record, there's over 500 points left on the table. To me, that's disappointing. That's it.
Okay. Jay, what you looking at?
Well, my first one, man. I have more, but I'll do three. One, it's not even her fault that she's a disappointment. I'm gonna say Venus Williams.
Okay.
And I say that only because she never reached what she could have been because of injuries. You know, I mean, she had autoimmune stuff going on. She had other injuries going on. She could never be healthy enough to even do like a full season, you know, to even like really get into what she could have been. So that's just a woman for me. Another one for me, Brittany Griner, bro. Like, how are you in Russia smoking weed, getting ready to get on the plane over here, man? You're causing a whole international incident. I mean, that was crazy disappointing for me, you know, for her to go out there and do that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And for sure, the most disappointed woman for me, I'm gonna go to another Caitlyn Jenner. I've never, bro. I'm a beat this horse until it's over. Caitlyn Jenner is the most disappointing woman on planet Earth right now for me out of sports, because I've never seen a woman be more anti-woman in what she stands up for and the people that she supports than Caitlyn Jenner. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'm gonna have to start rectifying some of these questions and saying born female. That's what I'm gonna have to start doing.
It's a woman. It's a female athlete.
I know. Okay. I give it to you, Jay. You got that. Kev, give me your most disappointing female athletes. Kev.
All right. Two of them mentioned before. I'm here. You got me? You hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Two low-hanging fruit. You already mentioned them. Angel Reese, because like she just got to clean herself up. She's doing stuff that, you know, maybe teenage kids should be doing right now, but she's doing it, and she's a professional athlete. Also, Brittany Griner. She's too big to be a bum like that. She can't make a layup. She's right near the hoop. Yeah, terrible. But my third one, I'm pretty sure nobody's thinking or even mentioned or has this girl in thought. I don't know if you all remember my old class, one of my schoolmates, Medina Dixon. And I'm not disappointed in her for her skills, but Medina, she played at the wrong time. She should have been in the pros. She was in the pros, but she played overseas. She won she won the top one in the U.S. national team with the U.S. national team, and she won a bronze in the 1992 Olympics. Then she played overseas professionally, and she should have been in the league. Medina was dope. She was one of those people that we were looking at like, yo, she's gonna be bananas when she hits the pros. And she was good, but you know, she went overseas and played, and we didn't hear anything else from her afterwards. So those are mine.
Okay. Good list. All right. So I want to keep this thing moving on, keep this train moving on. So let me ask you guys another question, because we've had a conversation a couple of times about how these freshmen are doing and how these freshmen got down and everything else. So I think it's fair to say who we liked as our freshmen. Now, this is not the question is, who is your favorite top 5 best college players all time? Not the best statistically speaking, but who is your favorite that you like to see, that you saw them do their thing when you watch television, in your top 5 best freshman college players all time, and you can put them in order the way you like, or you don't have to. You know, that's what the whole great thing about this is. And since you guys want me to go first, I'm gonna go first. And I'm gonna say number 5 for me has got to be Kevin Durant for Texas. I like seeing that boy ball. We already know what he's doing. I'm not gonna throw out the statistics because we already know everybody could get all the statistics. And I don't want to bore my viewing audience by saying statistics, but the style of play and the way he was coming in and the way he introduced himself to the world, I thought that boy was, fire. Number 4 for me is Zion Williamson as a freshman at Duke. I thought that dude was the next coming of LeBron James. I mean, the way he had the power and the way everything looked like he coming out, I was like, oh, we about to have somebody new get ready to take over it. And I was really excited to see what he could do when he got into the NBA. And fair to say, I'm super disappointed. But I'm not talking about that, where I am now. Just as a freshman and way I was thinking at that time, Zion had to be my number 4. My number 3 has got to be Allen Iverson for Georgetown, because again, the way he was handling things with Georgetown and the way I had heard his story, I was like, AI is just like, wow. I mean, this kid, I fell in love with that kid. I just really fell in love with that kid. And not to mention, he was a small kid. He just looked like he was going to do some work. I loved everything, including his handle and everything else. Number 2 for me, Adrian Peterson out of Oklahoma was doing work. I was like, this dude might be the second coming of Barry Sanders. I'm loving what he's doing. I loved the way he was doing the shaking and baking, and I was loving the way at the time the way he's breaking through the hole, and I was mesmerized. Again, I'm thinking about how I liked it and what I saw at the time. I was mesmerized by the way he was breaking through the hole and just coming down the middle. I was like, this kid's just a freshman. I was enamored. Yeah, thank you. And number 1 for me, Carmelo Anthony. When Carmelo was playing ball for Syracuse, the way he was strong arming everybody and the way he was using his strength and his upper body and blows and coming down and just posting up, I was like, this kid right here is real special. And when he was cutting down the nets after they won the national championship, I was like, man, I hope he comes back next year, because he's gonna do it again. He might repeat as national champion, but we all know he opted out, and he went straight to the pros, and his career spoke for himself. Mo, give me your top 5 best college freshman players all time, not statistically, but just to you, how you like them.
All right, my number 5 pick. These are in no specific order, but Patrick Ewing, when he was a freshman in Georgetown, I'm saying he basically carried the NCAA, not the NCAA, but the Big East on his back. He helped build the Big East. You know what I'm saying? Without Patrick Ewing, Chris Mullin, Mark Jackson, all those guys, there would be no Big East as we know it back in the day. Number 4, Kenny Anderson, man. When Kenny Anderson was a freshman, when he was in Georgia Tech, the move that was heard around when he did the Bobby Hurley alone, it was ridiculous. Kenny Anderson, pure magically, he was in there. Chris Webber. You can't talk about freshmen in no sport and not bring up one to Fab Five. You got to put one to Fab Five in there. If you didn't, your list needs to be shot. I'm saying Chris Webber, baby, best power forward to even one of the best power forwards ever in the NBA. I would take him anytime and anytime. Chris Webber. He go one that's a sleeper. He only played one collegiate game. Had he been more mentally prepared, he would have took basketball to the next level. Lloyd Sweet Pea Daniels. Yeah. He was everywhere he went, they won before he went to college. He was supposed to be on that team that had Larry Johnson, Anderson Hunt, Greg Anthony. The year after they beat Duke, they almost went perfect and lost the next year to Duke. Lloyd Daniels was recruited by Jerry Tarkanian. They sent him to another college, Mount St. Anthony out in L.A. We don't know what happened next. He got caught by a crack, and that was the end of that. He played one game for Mount St. Antonio, and that was it. Lloyd Sweet Pea Daniels would have been the truth. And my number 1, Dwayne Pearl Washington. He shuts it down. The reason why I didn't mention him, talk about building the Big East, because I knew he was my number 1. Dwayne Pearl Washington. That's it. That's my 5.
Your list is better than my list. I can honestly say I like your list better than my list. I like your list. Jay, give me your top 5 best college freshman players all time.
So I'm going to start first by getting the overlaps. I cannot do a top freshman list and not have Carmelo on it. So Melo's on. I mean, he's one of the top 5 best freshmen to ever do any kind of collegiate sport. So number 4 for me, I'm going to say Derrick Rose. Bro, Derrick Rose was no joke his freshman year at Memphis. Like he came in, took them, straight to a national championship game, #1 overall draft pick. We all know what happened in the aftermath. People forget about how cold D Rose was as a freshman. Another one who's a major sleeper, and he's your favorite basketball player's favorite player, Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley as a freshman led the nation in scoring and rebounding as a freshman at Kansas State. Whoever heard of Kansas State basketball before Beasley got there? Not me.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
Number 2 for me got to be Chris Jackson, also known as Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf at LSU. When he came on the scene, bro, he was getting 50 when nobody was getting 50, in college games. That dude was unguardable. So, and understand this, he was there before Shaq got there. He's older. So he was out there carrying LSU all over the place, getting 45. I want to say he averaged like 44 points a game his freshman year, if I'm not mistaken. And number 1, as a Florida State fan, this dude will always be my dude, Jameis J. Boo Winston. As a freshman at Florida State, took them to an undefeated season and won the Heisman Trophy as a freshman. Number 1.
I like that list, bro. I like that list. Kev, give me your list.
Wow. A lot of overlap. But I'm going to go with them. No particular order. I'm just from the top. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was also one of those unstoppable freshmen, whatever. It's just that we didn't see all the mishaps with his body happening back then. Zion Williamson. He was scary. And I think Frank alluded to it. We thought he was going to be the next type of LeBron type of player or whatever. And he was a beast until the fateful blow up the sneaker thing. Third, I will say Kevin Durant as well. Enough said. He even though he was so skinny, we saw promise in him. Like, yo, who's gonna be able to stop that? A 7-footer, damn near, would handle in a jump shot. That was crazy.
Unfortunately, Portland didn't.
Right?
Maybe a different situation right now. Give me Greg Oden.
My man Jay said him just a moment ago. Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Like he said, unguardable. He was putting up numbers that people were like,
it was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. And then my number 1 is Carmelo. Carmelo was just an animal. And Frank was right. We thought that he was going to come back. He's like, yo, he did that just as a freshman. Yo, if he comes back, they're going to do it again. He was out.
Yeah, which is smart on his part. So I think it's time now to jump into a little something to mix things up a little bit, because we were supposed to do this question on Friday, and we're going to do this question again somewhat different this upcoming Friday. But I want to jump into the 5 best comedy films to mix things up a little bit, only because, again, we were supposed to do it Friday, and I was looking forward to the funny on Friday. You know what I mean? Because I know we all have our favorite, comedy films. So I'm gonna go in this order. And if you ask me tomorrow, I'm gonna be honest. If you ask me tomorrow, this order might change. Actually, it will change. I'm pretty sure, because it depends on how I wake up in this mood. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go with my top 5 to 1, and I'm gonna go for number 5 for me. It's got to be Blazing Saddles. If you all ever saw Blazing Saddles,
oh my God, yeah,
that is one of the funniest films all time. And I think the funniest scene all time ever filmed is when the county town is sitting there waiting for the sheriff to come in, and they find out he's black. The guy leads in, and he say he's black, and every time he get ready to say he looks like a Look, I said
No.
he's a thing.
He's a
Yeah. I mean, every single time I watch that. Now, mind you, these are my films. And every single time I watch them, I be crying. I laugh, and I watch them repeatedly. So amazing. Blazing Saddles comes in for number 5 for me. Number 4 for me has got to be Dumb and Dumber. Like, because again, like there's some funny scenes. And Dumb and Dumber, when dude is on the seat on the toilet seat and he got diarrhea, is one of the funniest scenes ever filmed too. To me, like I think that's hysterical. But they even have some really funnier scenes. And even at the end, when when he stops, flags the bus down with all the women, like I laugh at that. That was very funny. Number 3 for me, it's got to be Friday. And my Friday favorite scene is, I think we talked about this before, is when Chris Tucker smokes and hits that. he hits that thing. He thought it was weed, and he kept hitting it real extra hard. And then he's running down the street. And
take it easy, Holmes. Take it easy. I know what I'm doing. You got something wrong. That's why I be like,
yeah, when I tell you, listen, y'all, everybody knows, like, this is not stuff that everybody has not seen. This is stuff everybody's seen. But, for me, again, one of the funniest scenes ever filmed has got to be that scene. And number 2 for me is a classic, man, Beverly Hills Cop. And this scene, which is not a lot of people, think it's one of the funniest scenes, but when Eddie Murphy is standing on the gate and the 2 cops come out there and they, the very first time when he's like, man, you got to talk about a little more, talk about the banana in the tailpipe. He just mimics that black dude talking like he's white. When the first time I saw that, I laughed so hard I almost ran out. I think I did run out of the theater. I had to come back in and catch my breath because I was crying. I laughed so hard. I thought that was funny. But my number 1 favorite movie, hands down, which I think is the funniest film ever filmed, and you have to really convince me otherwise, has got to be Something About Mary. That movie, scene for scene, block for block, is what you call a classic comic. Like, I don't even know how you write the film like that and to even top that. I don't see how you could top that. That is from the beginning scene when they talk to you about him growing up from high school into who he is as a man, all the way up into the end scene. That movie is hands down the funniest film ever. I don't know how you top it. But
from the zipper scene to the last.
Yeah, zipper scene all the way down. Like, I don't know how you. I saw that movie 3 times just so I could hear.
Masturbating.
Yeah, I don't know, Mo. I got to hear your top 5, and I got to hear what your number 1 comedy film is too. I got to hear this.
All right, here we go. And Frank, me and you are kind of on the same lines about era and comedy. My number 5 is Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 1.
Yeah,
I think that is a hilarious movie.
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning to the end, and it was released in 1981. Yo, I've seen that movie, man. I will watch that movie today. I mean, like, I put my wife on to it. She had never seen it before. She sat there and cried. I mean, cried.
Hey, Mo, Mo, the Gregory Hines feather scene is worth watching the movie by itself.
Yo, that one, and when they were riding in the chariot, and he was like, "You smell that? You smell that?"
And when we came in there,
"Pass me the easy." He's like, "Pass me the easy whiteness."
Yeah, that's funny. See, that's funny film.
And here's something too, though, because my next movie is Steve Martin, The Jerk. I think Steve Martin, The Jerk, and both of those movies had Madeline Kahn in them. I mean, Mel Brooks, back in them days, between Mel Brooks and National Lampoon, they were releasing great movies back then.
Yeah.
I got a tie for number 3. I got a tie. Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. You can't watch that movie without peeing on yourself. And I tied that with Smokey and the Bandit. I think Smokey and the Bandit, Burt Reynolds, but I had to put Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Them two, and it's a toss-up. I think that Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, it helps define the era of black comedy that was exploding, and it let everybody see what we were, that there was talent out there that could still be manifest. I mean, you have so many great Monique, Martin, Epps, I mean, the list goes on of the people. Cedric the Entertainer. You know, I mean, it goes on. James Earl Jones is in the movie, man. Come on, when you get James Earl Jones in the movie, that's it. Number 2, Stir Crazy, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
Yeah, it's a good movie too.
I was a kid, and when he grabbed that dude's nuts with them pliers, yo, that scene right there. And the thing about it, to watch that movie and to find out later on how high Richard Pryor was filming that movie. Like everything that he went through before every set, it's just crazy. My number 1, don't be a man to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. Message from the family of comedy, from the royal family of black comedy. Don't be, listen. Yo, man, you want some cheeseburgers? Do we have a problem here? Frank, you looking at me like we got a problem. Do we have a problem here?
Yeah. Let me just throw this out there. Stir Crazy was going to be on my top 5. I had to think about it. I was definitely going to be in that because the jail scene when they first walk in jail.
Who's bad? Who's bad?
Yeah, we bad. Like that is bro. I cried on that. What was the other movie you said that there was another thing I wanted to say. It's Stir Crazy.
Was Smoking the Bandit?
No, the other one.
Roscoe Jenkins.
Oh, Little Man. I was gonna say Little Man could have been in my top 5 too. Because if you ask me tomorrow, Little Man is hilarious too. And in the Wayans comedy family too. Because I get that. I didn't even think about I didn't even think about that. That was funny. More, I like your list, bro. I like your list. Coming from a comic, I gotta respect it. Now let me see coming from a filmmaker, Jason Hayes. And from a filmmaker,
like you text it. Talk it like you text it. Talk it like you text it.
Yeah,
so for me, I can't have a top 5 without Friday on it, bro. I mean, it's quotable from how you get fired on your day off until that's my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Friday's on the list. Another one that's on the list for me is Boomerang.
Oh,
it's hilarious in subtle ways, bro. But also representation that it had. It's this black-owned corporation, everybody black. But and the funniest line, I love all the Eddie Murphy, David Allen Greer, Martin Lawrence scenes.
Yeah,
like they was working out, and then Martin said something to David Allen Greer. And he was like, I know you. He said, at least my girl been leaving no damn guardian angel, right? Then like Chris says, I get it. You think because I got low sperm count that I'm not a real man. Martin said, I don't know why it's low. You ain't shooting nothing.
Yo, that's what they want the rowing machine.
Bro. But then he said, my doctor said, if I change my underwear, I can lower the heat of my testicle walls. Martin said, let me get you some icy hot. Let me get you some icy hot.
I'm about to go on camera soon. Oh, forgot
that. Yo, everything they did together was just hilarity, bro.
Yeah.
The next one for me is Dolomite.
Yeah.
Dolomite is hilarious. The jokes are funny, but it's hilarious because it's such a terribly made movie, bro. It's so bad that it's genius. You know what I'm saying? You seeing like microphones in the shots. This dude doing karate. He ain't never seen a dojo in his life, bro. I love Dolomite, bro. Anything Rudy Ray Moore. Another one for me. I'm going with the Farrelly brothers. And it's one people don't talk about enough for me. I love Kingpin with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, that's a good one.
With the bowling. Yeah. And he had the missing hand, so he had the prosthetic hand. And he won a championship ring on the prosthetic hand. Bro. That movie's out of control for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But number 1 as a filmmaker, like my number 1 favorite comedy ever because it was hitting on every note hilariously, Hollywood Shuffle. Robert Townsend.
Oh, I'm just watching that.
Bro, that movie is genius. And anybody that's had any dealings in Hollywood, especially as a black person, that joint is like top tier hilarity.
Yeah, I was just watching that too.
It's funny. It's funny. You know what I got to say? It's funny hearing it from a movie filmmaker's perspective, because you look at stuff that other people don't look at and hear what you're thinking. And I noticed one thing about all you looked at it from a filmmaker's perspective, like how they filmed it. You know what I mean? I don't know what people think, but if you ask me, I think filming a comedy is one of the hardest things to do. It's not like filming a horror movie, which I think is one of the easiest things to do. It's not like filming a dramatic movie, which I think is the second easiest. Comedy, man, first of all, you got to act like you ain't laughing. You know what I mean? When you're filming the scene, you can't laugh, and then they got to do it repeatedly and do it with straight faces. To me, it's just one of the hardest things to do. I'm sorry, Kev. I didn't mean to take up your time, Kev.
It's all hard though.
Yeah, it is. It is. But if you had to rank, Jay, let me ask you this. If you had to rank what's the hardest thing to film, you can't tell me filming a comedy is not number one. You can't. I
don't think comedy is probably the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker for sure.
Yeah, and then you don't know, you write something on a piece of paper, what you write on the paper, what your writing may seem hilarious, but once you film it, it might not be hilarious too. There's all kinds of things like that to me. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think comedy is more contingent on casting more than anything else. Yeah. Because if you don't get the cast right in comedy, you're dead. It's over.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. All right, Kev, give me yours.
All right. Because there's so many different funny movies out there, and you guys said some of my favorites, like there's something about Mary and Stir Crazy or whatever. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with some of my alternatives, just so I can be different than what you guys had mentioned. But believe me, I like those calls that you did. First one I'm gonna put up is Airplane.
Oh,
Airplane.
Yeah. Classic.
Is just what do I say? Classic. I like Mel Brooks, and Frank stole my first one. You know, the Western that was hilarious. So, Blazing Saddles. So, and the History of the World's another one, but I'm gonna go with Spaceballs. Spaceballs to me had some funny joints in it. I just love that movie. And like I think I mentioned before, Dark Helmet when hilarious. Hilarious. That was crazy. I'm gonna go with another one that nobody mentioned, The Hangover.
Oh,
when that first came out.
Oh yeah, the first one. Yeah,
the first one. When that first came out, I think everybody probably trickled a little something in their pants after watching that movie. Had to.
Bro, every time I hear Phil Collins in the heat of the night, bro, I remember that scene. I just with Mike Tyson.
Crazy. That was crazy. So that's another one. Yeah. Just about anything that Jim Carrey does is freaking hilarious. So I'm gonna go with one of his and say Ace Ventura. Just so stupid and silly. That dude is a nut. Yeah. I wanted to say Friday, but too many people said that. So
you can still say it.
This is true because it's
that good.
It's that good. It is that good. But I'll put that on the list. But you got to give me another one because that's everybody's pick, and that's an obvious one. So I'm going to go with Cheech and Chong. Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams. I thought that almost every scene in that freaking movie was freaking a tear dropper for laughing too much. So here's my 5.
Okay.
Hey, Frank.
Yes,
Frank.
Sir. Yes.
I want to give out one honorable mention for a movie. I think if I what I say that everybody would love. I think that nobody picked Animal House. Animal House should get an honorable mention. That movie right there took college to another level. Animal House.
I like that. So I like that thought process. If we're gonna go with honorable mentions, Jay, you got an honorable mention?
Oh, honorable mention for me, I'd probably go. Even though it's more of a dramedy, I would go school days. School days is hilarious to me. You know, like all the players and stuff, everything's hilarious. It was always comedy.
Yeah, and if I was gonna go honorable mention, I'd have to go 48 hours because the scene with Eddie Murphy walking the bar is like that's classic scene. Kev, you got an honorable mention?
Sure. I'll go with Old School.
With, you my boy Blue.
Yeah, I like that.
I miss you, Blue. My boy Blue.
My boy Blue.
Yeah, I like that.
I
like that.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah. All right, so we did our best. Now we're gonna have to jump back into some of the sports because I think a lot of the stuff that we're about to get into, I think it's gonna be a ton of crossover. I just think that that's what's gonna be because it's a narrow field. I want to do now the top 5 women coaches, past or present, and because of that, the top 5 women coaches, past or present. I think we need to figure out who is going to be 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And for me, at number 5, I'm going with Hope Powell from the Birmingham City in England. In the past, she was a soccer coach, and I'm not going to give her statistics and do all that and bore you all, everything else like that, but she killed her in her sport. Next one is going to have to be Kim Milkey in Louisiana State. Kim is like phenomenal in the basketball coaching world too. Then there's going to be Becky Hammon for Las Vegas Aces. I think we all know what Becky Hammon did and the work she did. Like I like what Becky Hammon did and all that. But Don Stanley is my number 2. And again, this is not of how they accomplished. It's just in the order that I like. Don Stanley is my number 2. But Pat Summitt for Tennessee has got to be my number 1. Pat is just like Pat. I hated Pat. I hated Pat because she was so good. You know what I mean? I didn't think I thought she was too. I thought she did too much to the teenagers and the young women that's in school and everything else. But she got them all motivated. I think she did right with all motivation and everything else. So can't knock her for what she did. So let me go with you, Mo. Give me your top 5 women coaches, past or present.
All right. You said my number 5, Becky Hammon, head coach of the Vegas Aces. She started out as an assistant coach with the Spurs. So if you didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? Like she got her start in the NBA, first woman in the NBA, actually. Sandy Brondello, coach of the New York Liberty, baby. Brought a championship to New York. We ain't had a championship for nothing in so long. If I didn't put her on my list, I need to give my Brooklyn Strikes back, baby. You know what I'm saying? New York needed something, and she brought it for us. Also, she's a former WNBA and an Olympian and an Australian Olympian. So it's not like she doesn't know the game. I went with a lot of firsts for it. Jen Welter. She's the first female coach in the NFL. And the thing that struck me about her, it's not like she was on the sideline doing something, for lack of a better term, womany.
Yeah.
No, she was a linebacker coach and special teams. Imagine that, her amongst all them big guys, a linebacker coach and special teams. Number 2, Dawn Staley. Come on, man. 3-time Olympic gold medal, 6-time WNBA All-Star. She's only one of 5 women to win 3 national championships and the first Black coach to do it. Not the first Black woman coach, the first Black coach to do it. And my number 1 coach of all time is Miss Bernadette Holder. Because anybody that can get up and deal with this dude and his moody ass needs to be the best coach of all time. This the dude that don't know what movie is going to be good today and it's going to be good tomorrow. This the dude. This the dude that owned the company and keep asking, should I go first? She had to be the greatest coach in the world. Bernadette Holder. Anybody who go against me needs to be removed from the Human Mill family. She's the first lady of Human Mill. Bernadette Holder. I know she's watching right now, and she ain't laughing. She said, "You're damn right. You're damn right." You know what I'm saying? She's like, I don't care how long you was out watching those West Coast games last night. You take your ass to church. All that's right. Bernadette Holder.
Master motivator. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Mo, I hate you. Yeah.
That's wild.
I'm sorry, Jay, because the funny part is y'all don't realize how true that is. You go to church.
I know it. I know he don't watch the West Coast game. And she like, come on, you go. I was watching the Lakers last night. I don't care. And nobody tell you to stay up to 10 o'clock to wait for some damn game to go off at 1 o'clock. You knew we was going to church today.
That's true.
Now
And
put
she
on your
call
Stacey
me,
Adams, right?
Yeah,
and she take it easy. She be like, we can go to the first service so we can get it over with, and you can bring your butt home.
You know, he going all day. You know that.
No,
Oh my
she give him a
God.
little slack because she know where the bread and butter coming from, but he going.
I walked into that one.
Oh,
All right, Jay, give me your top 5 women coaches, past the present.
All right, top 5. But one, I gotta have Marky on there because she did it at 2 different places. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a top. You just can't leave her off the list. Another one, same as you guys, Becky Hammond, because she actually coached the men on the professional level, and that's really difficult for any woman to get any kind of coaching job, let alone coaching in the NBA. That's a master stroke. Like she has to be really, really intelligent and really, really know her stuff, to get that job like that. Number 3 for me, even though she's not number 3, I'm gonna say Pat Summitt because she's obvious. She built Tennessee, into a powerhouse. Nothing to talk about with that. Number 2 for me is Dawn Staley, because who was talking about South Carolina women's basketball before Dawn got there?
Yeah.
Nobody.
She built that program from the ground up into a national perennial powerhouse. So you gotta give her a props for that. And number 1 for me, Steve Vivian Stringer. Long time, 5th all time in wins. Sister who started out coaching at Cheney University in HBCU. And she took Cheney University to the Final Four. And in true fashion, anything is good that black people do, white folks come in and take it. And so she finished up, coaching at Rutgers. But she's incredible all the time.
This is the first time in Boxy's history that we all have the same number. So the first 3 guys, myself, Mo, and you, Jay, we all had Don Stanley at number 2. That's the first time in Boxy's history we all agreed who's number 2. We all have not agreed on who's number 1, but so far we've all agreed who's number 2. Don Stanley taking that. Kev, give me your. Let's see if Kev breaks it up. Give me yours. Your top 5 women coaches, past or present.
Too much crossover. I'm gonna have the same ones as everybody else.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yep. Again, Pat Summitt, and these are no particular order. I'm just saying them because they all been said already. But Pat Summitt, because I feel like between her and Gino Auriemma, they're like the top freaking college female head
top
coach
of the mountain. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll also mention Becky Hammond, player, assistant coach, coached men in San Antonio. She got to get her props. Again, Kim Mulkey, what she's done in 2 different programs, can't knock it. Can't say nothing bad about it. Dawn Staley, another one that everybody said, but this is true. What she did at South Carolina is unprecedented. Just simple. To go with somebody else, though, that you all didn't mention, I'm going to go with Kara Lawson from Duke.
Okay.
She doesn't have the accolades and everything else that all the rest of those women do on the court, but how her approach to the game, how she instills the books, as well as how to carry yourself as a woman, as also be on the court and have some strength and dignity out there. I just like her approach to things. So I'm gonna go with her.
Okay.
As my
Okay. So now we got to get ready to move on to another category. I want to make sure we get in before we move on. The top 5 women best NCAA players all time. You got to look at it. And now this top 5 list, I'm gonna make sure I state this again. This top 5 list is not who they are statistically. It's who they are in your top 5 of that after you've seen them play. Not again, because we don't want to bore people with statistics.
Right.
Especially if you're in art and everything. We just want to say, hey, this is mine, my top 5, who I like to watch when I watch them and everything else. So number 5 coming in for me is Brittany Griner from Baylor. When Brittany Griner came in, I really enjoyed watching her play because I thought she was going to be dunking all over the place. Even though I don't recall seeing her dunk, I thought she was coming in and she was being, she was pretty dominant as a basketball player. I like seeing her. But number 4 for me has got to be the first woman ever signed by the WNBA, Cheryl Swoops. Cheryl Swoops did her thing. She played for South Plains and Texas Tech. And she was, when you talk about groundbreaking, she was breaking ground in the WNBA and she's breaking down in college, but that nobody had ever seen. And if you guys remember, there was a time when people were considering having her actually go to the NBA because she was that good. That's what, people, a lot of people forget that. She was that good. People like, people were sitting there saying, literally, could we create a conversation of having her? Now, I'm not saying I necessarily 100% agreed for it, especially at that time, but people were definitely having that conversation. I think number 3 for me, Diana Taurasi has got to be, honestly, in a lot of people's eyes, she's the best to ever play, and especially when she came out of UConn, she's probably the best to ever play the game at this point in time. And I can understand that argument for a lot of people. Diana Taurasi. One of my other favorites is number 2. It's got to be Cheryl Miller. I love Cheryl Miller, watching her play. But my number 1 female player that I like to really watch all the time when I did watch was Candace Parker. That's my number 1. Not statistically speaking. I'm not saying statistically she's the number 1. I'm saying who I like to watch.
I know why. Yeah.
Shut up. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. I'm in California. I need to make sure I get me a ticket coming home. So just shut up. Don't expound on none of that.
Their arm is long though.
Yeah, it is. Mo, you better not say nothing either. Mo.
I know where the bread and butter comes from. I know where the bread and butter comes from too. I'm gonna keep on into my list.
You better be careful yours list too. Top 5 women best NCAA players all time.
All right. I got Diana Taurasi, of course. I think we all gotta have Diana Taurasi. You can't talk about NCAA basketball women without mentioning her. Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart was a monster when she was in UConn.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, she got John Wooden Award, ACC Player of the Year 3 times. Come on, she got 4 chips. 4 chips.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Shamika Holtzclaw.
Yeah, she's gonna.
Shamika Holtzclaw in NCAA. Come on, at Tennessee. What she got there? 3 consecutive titles, 96, 97, 98, 4-time Kodak All-American, 4-time All-American. She was All-American every year she played. Come on, man. And she's only the 5th woman to have 3,000 points. She's only the 5th woman to have 3,000 points. That's a lot. That's a lot. My next 2, I got the same thing Frank got, but I got them in different order. I got Candace Parker at number 2, and I got Cheryl Miller at number 1. Anybody that can score 100 points is number 1.
Yeah,
they go number 1.
I can definitely understand that one. All right, Jay, give me yours. Best top 5 women's players all time, NCAA.
Of course, there's overlap.
Right.
I got Taurasi because you cannot have the list and I have Taurasi on it. I got Mo took who I thought was the sleeper, Shamika Holtzclaw. She was cold, bro.
Yeah, she was cold.
Yeah,
she was cold. Number 3 for me, I'm gonna go Cheryl Swoops. She was dominant Texas Tech. I mean, they weren't. Nobody's paying attention to them people at all. Until she got there, and they ain't been nothing since she left.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And now I'm gonna get to number 2 and number 1 because they're the people that made me start watching women's college basketball at all. So number 2 for me is Dawn Staley. Mm-hmm. I love Dawn Staley at UVA. She was box office, to plug the show.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, Cheryl the Goat Miller.
Mm-hmm.
She's the reason why anybody paid any attention to women's college basketball at all. You gotta go top of the list.
I like that list. Kev, give me your list.
Nice, Mike. All right. I'm gonna go. Well, the overlap, and Jay is right. You can't have a list without having Diana Taurasi on it. That's a given. I also have Cheryl Miller on my list. So that's my overlap. I like to watch Maya Moore. I like when she.
Oh yeah.
I liked her. And I also did enjoy watching Candace Parker too. Another overlap joint, but she was nice. I felt like, damn, if she was out there with brothers playing, she could hold her own a little bit.
She'd mix some Gatorade, bro. No, she wouldn't.
I think that she's that good. She is good.
You trashing Bronny, but she can play? No, sir. No, sir.
I'm sorry. And number one on my list, going way back to 1978 through 1981, is Lynette Woodard.
Oh yeah.
She was like one of the first to bring eyes and attention to women's basketball. So I'm gonna go with her.
Okay, I like that list. And since we have a little bit of time, let me just ask you guys this question. I'm gonna go. I already know the answer for me. Question, real fast. If there was a female athlete in any sport that got turned into a male, and who do you think that could be? Who would dominate in men's sports? For me, I don't think I think it's Cheryl Miller is an easy answer. You know what I mean? I think if Cheryl Miller was to be a man and with her exact same ball skills and it was to transfer to the NBA, I think she would have got better statistics than her brother Reggie Miller. I think she would have probably be in the top 10, top 15 all-time men players and everything else. And I would even go this way. If you put her in the NBA and you still keep her female, I still think she dominates in the NBA. I think you could literally say, you know what, her as a female, I think translates and goes. You keep her as is, and you put her in the game itself. I think she can still do work. But if she switches genders and she ends up becoming a man, but with magic and everything else, she step in the box, boom, you turn into a man and you go into the NBA. So I'm saying that to say, who do you think? I'm gonna start with you, Mo. Who do you think that could be? Do a gender switch with the skill set that you saw and could go in and dominate a man's sport? Who do you think that could be? And I took the easy low-hanging fruit with Cheryl. Sorry.
I think this person could have been a fullback in the NFL, maybe even a good running back, but a definitely good fullback. You know what I'm saying? And I said her before in something as far as Gabrielle Cinnabelle. The way she grabbed that chicken impression will never leave my mind.
Come on, Mo.
Yo, imagine her being a fullback in the NFL. Imagine her as a tight end. She didn't drop one piece of chicken. She still had a full bucket of chicken.
I walked into that one too.
Lord have mercy, man.
I think Gabrielle Cinnabelle, I think if she was running down the field in her prime, and Lawrence Taylor was at the 2-yard line, and there was some hot sauce behind Lawrence Taylor, she getting that hot sauce.
Jay, I don't know how I walked into that. Jay, I walked into that. I literally walked into that.
No. I don't know how you walked into what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Caitlyn Jenner, bro. I think Caitlyn Jenner, if she changed sexes, she could dominate. maybe be a decathlete. I don't know. Win some gold medals. I think it's in her. To do it, bro.
You put Gabrielle Cinnabell and Caitlyn Jenner on the football team as men, that's your 1-2 punch right up the middle.
For those who are watching at home, I really meant this as a serious question.
That's a serious answer. I'm betting on Caitlyn.
And I'm going Gabrielle. That's a Super Bowl combination right there.
Kevin, can you give me a serious answer? Kevin, can you give me a serious answer?
And if you put Bernadette Holder down in the coach, the two of them, we got a team right there.
My wife is gonna kill you, boy. She gonna call me up right after this, I'm sure. Kev, Kev, who would be the female who you know could switch the sport and could dominate? Who would be that person?
This might be considered low-hanging fruit because you said her name already before. But I would she's stuck in my mind. Cheryl Swoops. If she was in a man's body, how she played, yeah, I would say her. I can't top that one that Jay said though. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think Taylor should win a gold medal, bro. I do.
At least.
Maybe even 2. I don't know.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Okay, y'all. We gonna roll it by.
You asked for that, Frank. You asked for that.
Yeah, I did. I walked dead into that one. I walked dead into that. All right, so tomorrow's show, we're gonna pick up on some things. We gotta definitely follow up the show. I got a couple of questions that I definitely don't have the time to get into today. But Mo, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, man, and what you got going on this weekend.
As always, you can follow me on Instagram, Dysfunctional Ref, and Mo_comic. This weekend, I'm local. I'm in Boston. I got some local places I'm gonna be. I'm be in Dorchester this weekend, doing my thing, and that's about it, baby. You know what I'm saying? For real. Trying to get Gabrielle to see she want to go down with me to down to Popeyes.
Me, I'm trying to go see Sinners this weekend, but my wife don't want to go see no vampire, no demonic movie, nothing like that. So I might go see it by myself, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying. That's how my wife is. She ain't trying to go see no. You know how that goes.
Hey, see it by yourself, man. It's much quieter that way.
That too. Jay, what? First of all, how can they follow you?
Follow me right here at JD Hayes fan base.
I knew you were gonna say fan base. There it is. I like that. That. Yeah. Tell everybody out there they can follow you.
Right here on Human Mill. Box seats, baby.
There it is. Thanks everybody out there watching. Thanks to Steve White Chocolate in the background holding things down. You guys, the show is called Box Seats. We'll be back on tomorrow, hopefully. I hope if I'm flying back tomorrow, I'm hoping my plane ain't. I thought I was supposed to leave tonight, but I had to push that back into tomorrow. So I'm hoping that I can be able to do that. So with that being said, I hope I'm not in the air. But it looks like I'm going to be on the air tomorrow. So it looks like we're going to be in tomorrow doing our thing and what we got to do. The name of the show is called Box Seats. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. The comedy just never stops. Thanks you all for watching. Peace.
Sir.